Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and I'm on to talk about Telcoin and the most recent events and kind of tell you the latest updates from what Telcoin leadership has been talking about, but also try to gauge some of the community sentiment at this particular moment. Because as we know, with any community, especially with Telfam, sentiment is everything. So we're going to kind of look at some of that information as well. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and you should always do your own research. And thank you to those who continue to support the channel. It definitely means a lot. So, with Telcoin, what happened or what transpired? So, around December, it was December 25th, there was a hack on the proxy contract. Now, this is totally separate from the Telcoin wallet, as the Telcoin wallet may remain secure. So, there was no issues with the Telcoin wallet or app. This was simply a governance or voting type system. I believe it was on Snapshot, in which you would connect your wallet to kind of start the voting process to vote on different Telcoin initiatives. And what ended up happening is people who had never initiated a transaction on Polygon were the ones that had an issue and received the hack, right? So it was at the tune of $1.2 million, right? Not the biggest hack in the world, right? Now we don't want to downplay it, right? Because a security issue is a security issue, right? $1.2 million is $1.2 million, but we've seen bigger incidences from different exchanges and different blockchains in the past. So what Telcoin has done is essentially went and buttoned up that governance system, done what they needed to do audits and all that good stuff to make sure that things are back running smoothly. As a precaution, what they ended up doing is just going ahead on and just freezing the Telcoin application or app. They froze it temporarily, did some audits to make sure that everything was secure on that end. And it could bode well in the future because it's good. I say in a way it could be a good scenario because if you're buttoning up your security now, imagine like down the road when you're full scale with like the banking, right? When you're full scale with the mobile network operators onboarding, you're good to go because you have secured your network so much that it's bulletproof. So this could be something for Telcoin to be more diligent and learn from it, right? And again, mistakes happen, and Telcoin had been flawless and running a well-oiled machine up into that point. So we'll go over a quick few pieces of that point. So as it sits here, it says Update 6 on Telcoin security incident. All user wallets have been fully restored and Telcoin application service has been re-enabled. Please note that your wallet address has been updated. The entire team is grateful for your patience and support, and we will be sharing a full post mortem of the incident and some other updates very soon, right? So this is huge, right? When has the last time you have seen any type of hack or any type of situation in which a team has fully restored wallets, given back and refunded money to Telcoin investors that were impacted, right? They essentially gave the money back, right? That lets you know that Telcoin is trying to be a big time player and kind of operate like a bank, right? Where they do whatever it takes to restore your money and look out for that customer experience, right? That's huge, right? In crypto, that does not happen at all. You hear time after time after time after time of people on different blockchains just losing money and that's it. There's no there's no Superman coming in to save them. There's no Wonder Woman coming in to save them. There's no Marvel characters coming in to save them. They are just out of luck. So that is huge. And I would like to know it could be a situation where they were just Telcoin reserves that were used to give back to customers or investors, or it could be a situation where they simply just clawed the money back, blacklisted the wallets that took the money and then kind of give that back to customers. So essentially what probably could have happened. And let's see, going back down, that's incident. Let's go back to incident update 5. So it says update 5 on Telcoin security incident. The internal audit of the new proxy deployment, along with a fresh audit of the wallet itself, has been completed. We have now initiated the recovery process, which involves new addresses for all wallets and migration of all assets and a complete restoration of all funds. Upon completion of this restoration process, Telcoin services will resume for all users as soon as the app stores accept the updated version, right? So that's a lot in itself. So, like I mentioned, proxy contract was all done and deployed. They went ahead on and did a audit, had an audit team come in and make sure everything was safe. The recovery process, everybody got their money back and new wallet addresses, right? I even see a new wallet address within my Telcoin app. They did that across the board for everybody, which is smart and good on them. So, for me, like I was definitely happy about the constant communication and kind of what Telcoin was doing. They were on it. They handled it professionally. They didn't blame like the customers or investors, or they just simply said, "Here's what happened, and here's what we're going to do to restore it." And they made good on their word, right? And that, definitely can kind of help with sentiment. Now, originally a pullback when the hack happened because people were they were like, some people sold off, some people bought the dip, right? As I mentioned before, with me, I just kind of just held and kind of just waited for the information. But as you can see, there was no sell off over the last 24 hours, right? So there was no sell off, which is good to see here. Up 5% over the last 24 hours since being restored, which is good to see. Now we'll Telcoin go back and get back to those levels of, let's go back kind of a month, the 002 range. I believe it can get back to this range here. Just kind of just a matter of time and people kind of figuring out what they want to do, right? And real quick, for example, here, hacks on Binance. We're talking about hacks. It happens everywhere, right? Binance blockchain hit by $570 million hack, right? Okay, right? And Telcoins was what 1.2 million. It happens on every blockchain. And look how Binance is thriving right now. Binance has even went through the whole issue with CZ, him stepping down, and the token is just thriving and on another level, right? Because people believe in it. And then if we do real quick, we do like Solana. It says here Solana attack comes just hours after malice actors abuse a chaotic security exploit to steal almost 200 million in digital assets, right? So you get the point. There are bad people out there, right? And but it does not mean that a crypto project cannot come back full circle, right? It just takes the community to say, "Hey, I stand with this project," and that's what happened, right? Look at Solana is another one that's just been on a tear. It was down to like $8-9, and now it's up over $100, and people are talking about it could be potentially a top 3 crypto project, right? So you get the point there with that. And let's see. So in short, what has all happened this year, right? Telcoin again, like I mentioned, was on a roll, right? They went to the conference in Barcelona, right? They essentially did some updates and allowed for countries in Europe to be able to use the Telcoin app. Lithuania, Germany, Netherlands, France, and I believe a few others were all a part of that, right? And then, again, they expanded the list of digital assets to 110 within the app. So that's a big milestone to be able to come to the app and have a slew of assets in which you can trade. And I'm sure they're going to build on that. They started like the Telcoin Association, which essentially kind of lays out everything within the Telcoin project into different sections, but also kind of gives power to the people in short by kind of having that governance. They did a holiday promotion, which actually was thriving up until that point. Like that was the most I had received in Telcoin referral rewards like since I've been using the app, and that was from the December 1st through the December 25th stretch. I can tell that people were actively trading on the app, and the volume increased. So that is a good deal to kind of have that holiday promotion, and I would definitely recommend that the Telcoin leadership team do stuff like that in the future because I just got an influx of rewards. Right, it was crazy. I was like, man, people are really engaged in using the app. Right. And let's see, one other thing. Oh, yeah, the whole information about the digital asset bank and them kind of starting like the paperwork process. There's a lot of screenshots and information from the Nebraska Secretary website basically showing that Telcoin Bank is an actual thing now, or it's getting to the point to whereas the digital asset bank is going to be around the corner. How that looks, how that business model app operates, again, it's forward thinking and it's kind of cool to see how that's going to transpire. So let's see if we can gauge some community sentiment real quick. And again, I appreciate your patience. It's kind of a lot to go through, but I had a lot on my mind as I just been kind of sitting and waiting for the leadership team to kind of go through the whole process. And again, I cannot emphasize enough their professionalism. And somebody says here, goodbye paper hands with your small bags. Now let's get this show on the road so people are happy there. Hey, TelFam, I just submitted my application for a seat on TAN Council to offer my support in the future of telco and community governance. Right, so Crypto Steve-O wants to be a part of the governance council, right, and kind of building that out and helping move Telcoin to the future. Again, anybody can apply for these council positions with this crypto project, so it's definitely cool to see that. And I would definitely vote for Steve. He's a huge influence in the community and does a lot for Telfam as a whole, far as his spaces and just giving all general information. And let's see. It says, "Good morning, everyone. This is from Crypto Cribs. Well, we didn't see the anticipated sell-off. Instead, we saw a nice little pump for tail, showing that there is a lot of confidence regarding the entire Telcoin ecosystem. Now we can fully focus on the exciting road ahead, connecting the MNOs plus retail." So, real quick, so for 2024, that is the initiative. There is a roadmap for M&M for mobile network operators to onboard, right? They did the first initial, testing, and now all the way through, I believe, Q3 of this year. That's when they're going to ramp up and have more mobile network operators on board. So it's going to be interesting to see like how all that plays out, right? Who will be the partners within Telcoin to help take Telcoin to the next level? And as for me, what am I going to do? For me, I am personally going to stand firm with Telcoin, right? Not financial advice, but seeing how they handled this whole situation, seeing how they made everybody that was impacted whole, right? Then proceeding to provide more information about the governance and kind of moving forward with that, giving all new contracts, making sure everything is secure. I can stand by that because, like I mentioned before, we have had many of instances where there have been hacks on different blockchains and people got zero back, or situations where crypto projects went belly up and nobody got anything back, right? So that leads me to believe that the Telcoin leadership team has a plan and they have stuff organized to a point to whereas like if stuff bad happens, they have a way to, kind of rectify the situation, right? And also it's going to make them better in the future, right? So for me, with Telcoin, that is essentially it. We talked about the hack incident and kind of what happened. And, many anticipated kind of a further sell off, which actually didn't happen over the last 24 hours, right? But, we'll see how Telcoin price performs over the next coming weeks, whether there is an uptick in the price or maybe some people will see this as a undervalued asset that they want to give a chance and kind of see what happens for the future. But rest assured, I know Telcoin leadership team will make sure that security is number one and continue to make that better going forward in the future. And it's good to know that the Telcoin app is up and running and good to go, right? So again, for me, I'm standing firm with Telcoin. I'm not selling off or anything like that. I will build my position in Telcoin, given the circumstances and the information that I have received from the leadership team, and just kind of move forward and see what happens. Community sentiment is looking pretty good, so we'll just kind of go from there. All right, thanks for listening and thanks for stopping by.